It was a very exciting day for the students at Deaf Reed schools and training centers. A group of 18 graduates had been selected from the schools to travel to Hunza Valley, a state in northern Pakistan. This would be the first time any of them had a chance to discover Pakistan. The 18 deaf students met in Sakkar and boarded the Daewoo bus with their teachers. All of them had packed their bags weeks before their travel date. The teachers were constantly focused on signing to the group about the information related to their trip. By nightfall, they reached Islamabad on the Daewoo and had a hearty meal before going to bed. The next morning, they excitedly boarded a huge coaster and started their journey towards Shogran. After many hours of driving, they reached the foothills of Shogran and stopped for a tea break at the famous Abshar Cafe that their teacher had signed to them about earlier. All the kids took off their shoes and socks and rushed to dip their feet in the chilly waterfall. They watched a spectacular sunset and then headed to their lodge in the jeeps. The next morning, they boarded the coaster again and headed to Hunza via Naran. Their teacher signed to them about the next stop in this journey, the amazing glacier. Once they reached the glacier, the coaster parked on the side of the Kunhar River, and the students, along with their teachers, went up to the icy steps cut into the glacier to take some pictures. This was a most memorable day as it was also 14th August, Independence Day for Pakistan. Huddled in the coaster, they headed towards the famous Babusar top, which was 13,000 feet high. They got down to race to the chai wala and saw the shop sellers were all huddled in colorful Irani blankets because it was extremely cold. Another memorable sunset was spent at the Babusar top, and then began their long journey to Gulmit. The next morning, they went to Atabad Lake to see this natural phenomenon created by a landslide. The icy blue waters were very inviting, and all the students boarded the big boat to take a ride on the beautiful lake. They watched in fascination as their teacher signed and told them about the tunnels created to bypass the route that was blocked due to the creation of the lake. Later that afternoon, they drove to the Baltit Fort and hiked up from the foot of the walkway. Their teachers were signing and explaining to them about all the shopkeepers selling local dry fruit, honey, and crafts products. Finally, they reached the magnificent Baltit Fort, which was made 600 years ago. The students spent the next 4 days in Hunza. The last night in Hunza was celebrated with a bonfire and dinner under the Milky Way. They camped outside under the sky, and once all the lights went off, they could see the million stars of the Milky Way shining down on them.